Did you see my surprise? Here I am. Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. I hope everyone's having a fantabulous Tuesday. I stayed home from work sick today, so pretend. Do not tell my boss that I am here. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. She's all over Facebook. She knows what I'm doing right now. So I'm here today to share a card with you because when Andrea um, put out her call, she mentioned the theme bad romance. And I had a card in my mind that I had made. And I don't know if Andrea can put up a slide, if she has a slide of that card. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead and position my camera while that's blocking your view of me trying to get a good angle here. Whoa. There we go. Okay, so that's a card that we're working on today. And it says, forget finding the right man, get a cat. I have a few of these great stamps. I have another one here. It says, bite me. I thought maybe I'd use that one tonight. So first what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this cute little stamp, this cute little kitty cat stamp. I'm going to be taking some dye-based ink here, some fade-resistant dye-based ink, and I'm going to be stamping up our little kitty, and I'm going to be stamping him or her on a nice smooth cardstock here, like that. I'm going to let that ink dry a little bit, and I'm going to do a technique that I think I've shared with some of you before using Copic markers. What I have here is just a plastic packaging pop dots, as you can see, and why I'm using this is because the product inside is white. So I'm going to be using this as my palette. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking some of my Copic markers. I've got two different brown Copic markers. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe the marker onto the package. I don't know if you can see the brown ink there. So I'm wiping these two brown inks. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a blender marker, which is sort of a Copic marker that has no ink in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of this brown and I'm going to start coloring in my sassy cat. It's not me that's sassy. It's clearly the cat that is sassy. So because we stamped with Memento ink, we know that it's not going to smudge the sassy Sam cat. That is correct. So what I'm doing is I'm just using the clear blender marker to pick up the ink, and I'm coloring in the kitty. And what this is doing is that it's sort of giving a watercolor effect, because obviously when we first start, the ink is going to be a lot darker and it's going to get paler as I move around. So I'm just coloring in. Perhaps we will name this cat Sassafras. I just saw that name go through. We will call this sassy cat Sassafras, the bad romance cat. Okay, so there's my kitty. Maybe I'll make his paws a little darker. Just to give him a little definition, I'll make the tip of his tail a little darker. Now, even though you've used your blender marker, this is a clear ink, so you're going to want to wipe that ink off on a piece of scrap paper just so that you don't stain the tip of your marker. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a little pink marker and I'm going to give Sassafras a pink nose, and on Sassafras's envelope I'm going to put a little pink heart. I'm going to take my gigantic tape gun now. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the back. And I'm going to glue this down onto a piece of cardstock here. So what I went ahead and did before you guys showed up today was I created my card base by cutting out a piece of blue cardstock that's 8.5 by 5.5 and folding it in half, and then adding a panel of stripy paper to it. And then what I did was on the original card, which is here, I had these cute die cuts that were ready-made that were these little like thought bubbles, and I don't know if they're old or if I use them all, but I cannot find them. So I just took a piece of cardstock, and on the back I traced out a thought bubble until I was happy what it looked like. And then I cut out the bubble. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one of our little sentiments. Maybe I'll take the Bite Me sentiment. Now I'm using an unmounted stamp, so I'm just putting a little bit of double-sided tape on the back of it. And then I'm going to put that on my acrylic block. I'm going to ink it up in my black ink. And I'm going to stamp it on my thought bubble. This is Bite Me, which I guess is an equally nice Valentine's Day sentiment. Next, I'm just going to take a black marker and I'm going to add just a little bit of hand stitching around the edge. Just some little dots. So it says Bite Me. There you go. So really now comes the easy part of this card, which is just assembling it all together. So again, using my double-sided tape, I'm going to glue down the kitty, our sassy sassafras cat. I see someone bragging for me in the chat room about how our wedding was featured on weddingchannel.com, which is very cool. Alright, so that's the gist of the card. And then what I would do is I would probably grab, I don't know where all my glue dots are gone. I seem to have a glue dot shortage, but I would probably grab my liquid glue here and put some buttons down the side of my card. And then I think in honor of Andrea, I'd probably add glitter to my buttons like that. And that's how simple it is to create a really sassy card. The sassy stamps are actually from River, let me see if I get this right, River City Rubber Works, I believe. They have tons of sassy stamps. And the cat is from a great set from Pink Cat Studio. So if there's no questions, I'm going to hand it back to Andrea. And thank you guys so much for coming out tonight to the first ever once monthly Craft-tastic Live.